YouTube. How y'all doing today, man? I hope y'all doing well. All is well. Listen, I decided to make another video, right, about a topic that many people has made a talk about. Probably thousands, not thousands, maybe hundreds of videos about this same topic that I'm gonna talk about today. So on top of that thousand, I'm gonna be 1,001. Today's topic is about getting your CDL. Y'all stay tuned. So yeah, getting your CDL. As you see right now, I'm sitting in my truck, chilling over here at Amazon. I'm waiting for a trailer. And I don't even know where to start, man. To be honest with you, bro, I don't even know where to start. It's a long story, but I'm just gonna make the short bridge version, right? Getting your CDL. I can only speak from my experience, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the same experience for every person that's got their CDL, male or female, right? Getting your CDL opens the doors to so many opportunities, man, that you would never even think would have existed. Because when you get your CDL, you're in high demand. It's a trade. It's like being a mechanic or being a carpenter or culinary, a painter or something like that. It's a trade that you can go anywhere in the world with. Anywhere in the world with. Because everywhere in the world needs freight move. They need truck drivers. Even if you wasn't doing a Class A like what I'm doing, you could do Class B. Because Class A, we moved the country. But Class B, let's say for us dump trucks, you move the earth. School bus, you moving children. And other Class B and Class A vehicles that's moving products that's essential to society that we need every day, that we probably don't even think about. So, if you're thinking about getting your CDL, the first thing you should do, obviously, is study for your permit test, man. There's a multitude of videos on YouTube about how to get your permit. The first steps you do, as far as getting your permit, get your medical card. Where a medical card is basically stating that you're healthy enough to drive that truck for a certain amount of hours, and you're not diabetic, you don't have sleep apnea, etc., etc. You can go to a chiropractor or a licensed doctor for that. It might be like $50, $75 to $100 depending on your state. And you can have it up to six months, a year to 2 years, depending on how well your health is. That's very important, because without a medical card, you can't have a CDL. They go hand in hand. If you don't get a medical card, you can't get a CDL. And if your medical card expires, then your CDL gets suspended. So they go hand in hand. But the first step is studying for the test and having the intentions to get your CDL. Don't procrastinate, because that's actually what I did. I had someone tell me, man, go get your CDL, man. It'll change your life. You can do X, Y, and Z. Your money increase, blah, blah, blah. I ain't want to listen, because at the time I was making $15 an hour. I was a street sweeper driver. So for me, that was a lot of money for me at the time. So I was content with that situation until maybe like a year or two passed. Excuse me. A year or two passed, and I decided to do it. So what I did was I started off my Class B, and it wasn't for any specific reason. It was actually, well, it was because at the time the CDL school that my coworker referred me to, they were charging $2,000 for the Class B, and they wanted $9,000 for a Class A. Yes, $9,000 for a Class A CDL, and that was in Virginia. A school called Shipper's Choice. That's not a plug, by the way, because that's crazy amount of money for a CDL, man. I mean, it's worth it, you know, because you'll make that money back, and you know, in less than a year. You'll make that back in less than a year, but a lot of people can't afford $9,000. You know, let me roll this window down because it's raining. So, like I said, I first started out with my Class B. Anybody's watched my YouTube videos, you can see my YouTube channel. I mean, my YouTube video of me doing this, the pre-trip for my Class B CDL license. Now, when I first got that Class B CDL, after maybe like 2 months of school, because I had to work. I had to work during the weekday, and I had to do it on the weekends. I had to go to school on the weekends. And like I said, it was in Virginia, and I live in Maryland. Well, I still do live in Maryland, and the commute was maybe like 2 there, it took like an hour and a half back, it took an hour and a half, you know. But regardless, I had the intentions I wanted to get that CDL to change my living situation and to better my lifestyle for my family. And that's exactly what it did. My first CDL job, I got paid $24 an hour. Coming from when I was driving the street sweeper truck, I was making $14 an hour. That's double my pay. It's not a pay raise where you get 50 cents or $1, or I highly doubt you can get somewhere where you get $2 as a raise. But I got a $10 raise. I guess you can put it like that. Once I got that Class B CDL, driving a dump truck. I came in there. Actually, I came in there and they offered me that because they was like so. How can I say it? They were so desperate for me to drive that truck. They would have gave me anything. They didn't care. I just got my CDL. I've applied for jobs on Indeed.com, and they blow my phone up. When I first got that CDL, they still do it to this day. It's been 4 years later, and I got a Class A, so that's even better because I got a higher class CDL, and I don't have any restriction on my license. It means I can drive a stick shift, and of course, an automatic. So my first job, like I said, was $25 an hour. Dramatically changed my life. It might not seem like a lot of money to some if you're already making that, or people that's, you know, and I guess you can say like first class society, whatever the term is for those. But a person that just come in without any certification, without a college degree, that's a whole nother topic in itself, because that really doesn't mean that you're gonna be successful in the corporate world anyway. It's all kind of like a scam, to be honest. That's a fact. But anyway, so once I got that little bit of experience, a couple months of driving that dump truck with my CDL, I really expanded my, I guess you could say, my resume in the trucking industry. I don't know what this is. Where am I bed? Excuse me. So, because the reason why I say that, because when I drove for that company, they had all type of stick shifts, all type of transmission, 8-speed, 10-speed, 13-speed, 18-speed, driven all transmission, and it really helped me once I upgraded to a Class A. It really helped me to get a basic concept of how a commercial vehicle is supposed to be operated, the importance of knowing how that truck's supposed to properly operate and safely operate on the road. And it just made me more confident when I apply for other companies. Like right now, I'm driving for a company called Mission Ready, and we haul loads for Amazon, and we do for haul loads for BJ's, grocery store, or the distribution. And it's sometimes it's just, I be at a loss of words. Like a lot of people on YouTube that make videos on this specific topic will tell you, that CDL has changed my life, man. Like we're not rich, though I believe richness is like being self-content in general. You know, there's nothing wrong with wanting more and wanting to, you know, provide for you more for you and your family, but not greed, but contentment. And you know, I'm happy with what God has blessed me with, and it's such a great opportunity to be able to drive all around the country and get paid to do it. Get paid well to do it. Not everyone that has a CDL get paid well to do it, because a lot of them don't know their worth. They may be content in their situation. They scared to branch off into, you know, to other companies or different ventures, because, you know, they're scared. Or, like I said, they're content with what they getting. But it's always somewhere better, because people gonna say, well, I know my cousin or my uncle drive trucks and he only make this and he only make that. Well, that's your uncle and that's your cousin. That don't goes for everyone that's driving out here, because we all drive for different companies. We all got different situations. We all get different pay rates. Some people are on an ops lease, and some people get paid very well as company drivers. You know, so the point I'm making is get your CDL. Have the intentions in your heart that you want to get your CDL and change your life for you and your family, and I guarantee you won't regret it. Even if you use it as a backup plan, even if it's you still going to school for, I don't know, nursing or criminal justice or something, get your CDL. Matter of fact, one of the guys, because I'm also a trainer at the company that I work for, one of the guys that I just trained maybe like a month ago, he's a retired firefighter, fire chief, a retired police officer, and he was in the military. So I'm like, he's a man of many hats. Now he got his CDL driving trucks. You know, he driving trucks, and he said he loved it. Out of all the different careers he had, he said he loved driving trucks the most. I don't know if it's the most lucrative, you know, out of all the things he's done, but he got a lot of, he a man of many hats. He can probably go anywhere he want, you know, just on that alone. But it's changed a lot of people's lives. A lot of brothers that get out of prison, you know, when you don't have any work experience, when you've been in prison maybe 5, 10, 20 something years, you don't have any work experience, you know, you don't have any skills. A lot of them guys come out, get their CDL, and they automatically get a job. I've seen it happen. Also, I trained another young brother that just did 5 years in prison. He came home, he had his CDL less than a year. He drives for the company now. He's making good money. He's going to a car, trying to eventually get his own truck, and, you know, do his own thing. He's traveling around the country, driving for hauling loads for Amazon, as well as myself. You know, because most companies, for the most part, don't really care about, I'm not gonna say don't care, but, you know, it depends on what your criminal record is. But I know for a fact that all of them care about your driving record, because you got to be insured. If you can't get insured, then they definitely won't mess with you. You know, if you got a iffy little, you know, criminal record, then they might work with you. But a driving record has to be on point. You know, it has to be on point. So that's a great opportunity. People that come right out of prison and get a CDL, and they start making money, they out the streets, you know, they can provide for their family. They ain't got to worry about, you know, going back and being another statistic. You know, the recidivism rate is as high as it is. So, and I know a lot of people that's got out of prison that has gotten their CDL and bought trucks and got a fleet. You know, fleet is like more than 1 or 2 or 3 trucks. And, you know, they're doing good. They're prospering very well. But it all opened doors from getting that CDL. It all started from getting that CDL. Go get your CDL, man. Don't worry about what anybody else talk about, anybody else's situation that's negative. Man, getting your CDL will open doors. I promise you. Before this COVID thing started, not as much now, because a lot of people don't want to hire people, and, you know, so many requirements and conditions of, you know, interacting with people now, 6 feet, mask, and et cetera, et cetera. I got so many calls, like, in a week. I wanted to take my resume off of Indeed. It was that bad, you know. Even to this day, this is September. This COVID thing first started, when they started doing a lot of shutdowns and everything. And I don't know, every state was different, but in Maryland was doing like in March, beginning of April. When I say they were literally blowing my phone up, I wanted to take my resume off of Indeed. because they just kept calling. But it felt good that I could just decline a job if I wanted to. And I still can. I can leave this company now and have 5 or 6 companies lined up. You know, FedEx, UPS, bar none. You know, I probably want to do Prime. You know, that truck's governed too. The trucks drive too slow for me. I care about speed on them trucks, man. I ain't even gonna lie to you. You know, but go get your CDL, man. I promise you it'll change your life. Get out that warehouse and being part of the chain gang. Nothing wrong with if you're in the warehouse and that's how you making your money and provide for your family, man. But time is valuable and it's precious, man. So if you're doing something every day and you don't really like doing, you doing it only just because you're trying to get some money, you're wasting your time, man. So if you're looking at this video, yeah, and I'm talking to you. You right there. If you're looking at this video right now, it's a reason why you're looking at it. You could have been looking at a new rap song that just came out, or the new Jordans that just came out. You know what I mean? Or the new smart TV that they upgraded on. Nah, you decided to hit on the video about getting your CDL. So that just shows your intentions is to change your life for you and your family. So go get your CDL, man. Start with the practice test. Go get the permit. Just like when you get a regular driver's license, if you want to get an A or a B. If you want to get a Class B, you got to study for the general knowledge. You got to study for the air brakes. If you want a Class A, you got to study for the general knowledge, the air brakes, and the combination vehicles. As well, if you want to get any endorsements. You know, find your local school, you know, that'll train you for a reasonable price. Just look around. Don't go for the first school just because you see it. Go around and I ain't gonna say shop around, but go in and venture around to see, you know, what school is more affordable. And you know, on back on that, when I started with a Class B. I paid $2,000 for the class. It took about 2 months. I was only doing for weekends. Now, and that was in Virginia. I live in Maryland. So when I went to Maryland, I upgraded to a Class A. I wish I would have knew about the school at the time, then I would have did it. So they only wanted $150 every session. I took 2 classes, and I took my test the following week, and I only paid $500 for renting a truck. So 2 classes, which is $150, so that's $300. Then I paid $500 to rent the truck on test day. You know, plus the instructor had to come as well, because obviously at the time I couldn't drive with a permit by myself anyway. So I paid $800 for my Class A, and the school name was CDL for Less. Highly recommended. CDL for Less, or it's another school in Maryland called CDL Book Club. Go check them out. CDL for Less or CDL Book Club. Check them out, man. And you'll see your life change. I promise you. You gotta have a passion for driving, man. This driving ain't easy, but it's very lucrative. It's very fulfilling, and I guarantee you'll enjoy it. So with that being said, stop wasting time. Get off that couch. Cut that TV off, man. After you watch this video, of course. Cut that TV off. Go study for that test. Plenty of apps you can study for the test. Plenty of YouTube videos to study for the test. Like I did. I don't even think I even read the book that they gave me from the DMV. I read the app and the CDL questions and answers on YouTube. Start there. Make the intention that you want to change your life, and I promise you, you won't regret it. Also, you don't have a boss over your shoulder. I mean, it varies from. I mean, the only one I would say that you might most likely probably have a boss over your shoulder is if you're going local, because you're local. You're like there. You're right there. You're right next to your, you know, to the boss or to the owner of the company. You know, so they might call you and need you to do this and need you to do that and go help out another driver, move some trailers, come back to the yard. Where you at? I haven't had that yet. To drive, I drive regional. You know what I mean? It's not it's OTR because we are over the road and we out for days, but we're not out weeks and months at a time like a lot of our over the road drivers that drive coast to coast. You know, but we drive state. You know, we out here. We, like I said, we stationed in Maryland. We might be in Kentucky, Georgia, Tennessee, New England. You know, Tennessee. You know, wherever the bag at, that's where we go. So I love that aspect. That's one of the most things I love the most is that I don't have someone over my shoulder all the time. Where you at? What you doing? Why you sitting? What's going on? As long as Amazon does not contact the company about being late or something happen, they won't call us. Sometimes I be feeling like this is my truck. I don't have, you know, until I come back to the yard or speak to somebody. Like, the sense of freedom out here is just, I can't even put it in words. Yeah, it's stressful to be away from your family a lot, you know, and being in a truck, you feel a little claustrophobic sometimes, you know. Yeah, it's good and bad and everything in life, man. You know, nothing across the board is just 100% great. You know, anyone says that is lying. But overall, you got to think about what does the good outweigh the bad. And in this situation, the good outweighs the bad. In my opinion, anybody that got their CDL, whether you're driving tractors and trailers or big rigs, as they call it, dump trucks, roll-offs, cement mixers, buses, Greyhound, school bus, I promise you they love it. It pays well, and they can easily just call their boss or come right to their boss office and say, you know something, I quit. Here go your keys, I'm gone. And guess what? They're going to have 10 or 20 jobs call you in that same week. Maybe not 10 or 20, that's a little excessive. You know, maybe like, let's say 5. Depending on what kind of class CDL you have and if you got an endorsements. But even if you don't got a bunch of endorsements, if you got a CDL, you valuable, man. So, like I said, stop waiting, stop hesitating. Go out there and get that CDL, man. And I appreciate all y'all likes and y'all subscribe. It's all good.
13:45. That's 2:00. FRN.
13.
It's supposed to be switching these though.
I think 13:45 is 1:45. Well, it's roughly 2 o'clock. You can say 2 o'clock then.
FRN 158.
She back at it, man. We back at it. We at the Flying J over here in Lancaster, New York. This is where she fly, man. We about to get us some Denny's real quick. She got her vest on like she really driving. She ain't driving. She on Instagram chilling, eating good. You hear me? Yeah, so we'll check in with y'all in a little bit after we get our good old lunch that she gonna pay for.
You treat happy.
Inshallah.
Treat the apple person too.
Inshallah.